So, yeah, I mean, the instrument is capable of playing itself. Well, for this patch, there's 5 voices, only one of which is going to be sort of improvising a solo. Now, how does a modular synthesis work? For those who don't know what it is, it's what makes the sound. When you're talking or you're playing a saxophone or trombone or piano, it's obvious where the sound is coming from. Your voice is coming from your vocal folds. If you're playing saxophone, you have a mouthpiece and a reed. The reed's vibrating, and that's what's producing the sound. A trombone or trumpet player, their embouchure, I can't do the sound, but they can make the sound with their lips, and that's being amplified with the horn. And piano, it's being struck with hammers. The strings are being struck with hammers. But with a synthesizer, where's the sound coming from? Well, there are these things called oscillators. They oscillate between 0 voltage, which means nothing's coming through, and up to about 5 volts in this system, which is the highest note it can play. The standard is 1 volt per octave, so for every volt that goes through, 1 volt, 2 volt, 3 volt, 4 volt, 5 volt, you have a 5 octave range, and it's just sort of on, off, fast enough to the point to where it's going at an audio rate that we can hear it. So you can make a sound. What do you do from there? A lot of things. It takes a lot of support modules to make a actual piece of music. Otherwise, it'll just go and that's about all you can do. Oh man. But the main way I approach generative music is that I don't want the machine to make all the music by itself and I don't have anything to do with it. I want to be involved in the process, tweaking and patching during a performance or a recording of it, and having a real hands-on approach to it. It's not all that different from being a conductor of a chamber orchestra or something. I have a module called a random bit shift sequencer. What does that mean? Well, long story short, it's a kind of software rendition of the old Alan Turing machine, the abstract Alan Turing machine, the guy that broke all those codes in World War II. Here, that's being used in a software, as I understand it, a software version to produce random voltages. This machine doesn't know anything. All it can do is eat, process, digest, and poop electricity. That's all it can do. It can't do anything else. This particular module allows you to make it produce random control voltages, random outputs of electricity that can then be what we call quantized. In other words, made to fit the Western tempered scale, major, minor, harmonic, Dorian, harmonic minor, Dorian, Phrygian, Mixolydian. In fact, you can quantize it to any scale you want, and you don't even have to quantize it if you don't want. But for the sake of music, it's quantized to the Western tempered scale, the notes that the 12 equally tempered notes that you hear everywhere in the Western world. I only like one, at most two voices having the solo. You have to understand, I'm thinking in terms of sort of a jazz quartet or quintet, or even, like I say, Western classically trained sort of chamber music. So you're thinking, piano trios, string quartets, woodwind quintets, brass quintets, saxophone quartet even, and the like. Combined with a lot of experience. I do have experience in jazz, and improvisation to me in any music is really in many ways the most important aspect of it, because it's alive and it's active and it has to continue to produce something different or new, or else it's just dead. Now, I'm not playing jazz. I'm not trying to say that this is jazz. It isn't. It's really minimalist music, where you're using minimalist techniques in the bottom four voices to this Terry Riley, Steve Reich like, Lamont Young like minimalist understructure, and you have a single solo voice over that, or sometimes I'll have two. It just depends. In this piece, there's just one solo voice, and I want that solo voice alone to be the part that's generative and always changing. The other, I want it to be just sort of fairly stable, but minimalist. It's always sort of, there's just this minimalist, there's just this understructure. It's always sort of bubbling and doing things.